Or like a floppy disk.
So these are smaller items, Sam. I know you asked the size of the items. There's a hairbrush.
Yeah,
I don't know what the
hairbrush, that
hardware
works.
piece is.
That works.
Does it? Can you confirm that?
Yeah. I mean, you've got to get the right end, obviously. But
You don't want the fat
Absolutely.
You don't want the spiky end. No, absolutely not.
end.
Hello, everybody. Welcome along to Killer Rabbit Podcast. It's officially Good Pod's number 3 indie music podcast. Yeah! The podcast where we don't feature any music, or for that matter, any Indians. So, God knows how we are where we are in those charts, but we're going to take it. We're going to grasp it with both hands and celebrate the fact that we are indeed an indie music podcast. Well done, us. Well done, everybody. Congratulations.
Yay.
And that's the end of the show. It's bye from Sam.
It's bye from Benson.
And it's back from Adam.
Bye now.
bye.
Oh, it's another fake ending.
Oh, we love the fake ending.
In fact, you've not even
We've
fake.
tired this joke out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not just a fake ending, Sam. You've also done a fake intro because you said that we don't have Indians in our podcast. But I have a story about Indians today.
No way.
Have a story from India.
I too have a story from India.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
No way.
Do any of yours involve spies?
No.
One of mine did.
This is why
I'll
we
let
used
you
to
do
do
it
that.
though.
We used to give a code word to each other to say what our story was about. And now that I've said Indian and we've got the trifecta of Indian. Bear in mind, Sam said none of our episodes contain Indians, and now we've all. But you yourself you've lied knowing full well.
Ah, you set it up. It's foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowed. Yeah.
I see what he's done there.
Have
But
I
yes,
ruined
I
your
know.
foreshadowing
I
it?
believe I know this story, Benson. But yes, go ahead because it is.
Should we, for the first time ever on the Alternative News podcast, jump straight into a news story without any ridiculous intro?
Let me just introduce who's speaking now, because
Nah.
if you're tuning in for the first time, you need to know that I'm your host, Bob Gregson, and I'm joined by... Who am I joined by?
Michael Jameson.
Michael Jameson, and of course...
Uh,
It's not easy, is it? Coming up with a name on the fly?
Franklin.
There's only how many thousands out there? Franklin, yeah. Franklin what?
Mailmer.
Mailman.
Franklin Mailmer?
Well,
Franklin
where did you
Mailman.
get that surname from? What's the origin of that? Mailman.
He just looked. He looked at himself and he was like, "Mail,
Mailman.
That will do. No, we're just kidding. I'm Sam. This is Mr. Adam Chase here. Listen to his voice. It's here. No, you're not Adam Chase.
I'm sorry. I was
fuck's
cheering. I
Yeah,
was
he is.
cheering for Adam.
I asked Adam Chase to make a noise, and you made a noise.
I'd already
Now
started
he's-
making the noise before you asked it.
That's
No.
Adam Chase. That's not.
That's
not,
yeah.
what
That's
are you on
Adam.
about?
That's Adam pointing in the mirror. I'm Adam.
I'm Sam, surname redacted, and your first name redacted, Benson.
Yeah, I
Mr.
am.
Taylor.
You just dropped the T-bomb.
Didn't that get
Sorry.
dropped last week anyway? It definitely
We
got
can-
dropped last week.
we can-
100% got dropped last week.
We can bleep
That
it out
episode's
in
not come out
post.
yet, and
It's
I'm,
not.
I'm editing it, so it's getting bleeped.
You have too
Sam,
much power.
I don't see why you have an issue with your full name, Sam Rayler, being
Yeah, Railer.
said.
Go rail.
It's just a thing, innit?
Stop
Just
railing.
happen that way.
Yeah, rail.
I don't have a surname. You don't have a first name, and Adam has
A
a
name.
stage name. Yeah, so
I don't have a real
Yeah.
name.
yeah. Adam's actually called fucking Franklin Mailmer.
You're never going to use that as a stage name, are you? Franklin.
I am now.
Mailmer.
I'm going to set up Franklin Mailman. Let me
We had
just go
stage
sign him
names
up
on the
to-
other on episode 46. Can any of you remember your stage names?
Absolutely not.
That was a long, long time ago.
One of you was because Sam, especially Sam Taylor, talking to you, you came out with this name out of absolutely nowhere.
Was it
I
Greg
have,
Gregson?
to, I have to overthink. I have
was
to
like-
overthink names
it was
now,
like
just to
Scott-
make sure it's not one that I've mentioned
It was
before.
like Scott Quigley or something like that.
Oh, that's a great name.
Scott
That's,
Quigley is a good name.
And then
Yeah.
Adam, yours was something short. I can't remember, but the irony is that you wore long trousers. I'm just throwing it back to another episode because I've only edited that in the last 48 hours. So I'm just
It's the only
remembering
one
it.
you've heard.
Yeah.
well, let me apologise to you all for lying because I said there is no Indians on this
no
podcast.
one, Sam, no one's listening now
apparently-
anyway because we ended the show. So
Yeah, it's the end. It's after the
We're
end. This
talking
is
to
the secret
ourselves.
track.
this is the Easter egg. This is
Well,
episode 34.
somebody will be listening to it, and then they'll spread the news online. That, oh, if you listen after beyond the 40 seconds, you actually hear a full episode.
If you notice that it's actually got more of the episode left, then
We've actually got a whole host of Indians on this podcast, and that is why we're the number one indie music podcast. So we've earned our title. Benson, you wanted to jump straight in with your story about an Indian spy, apparently. Why
Yeah.
don't you go ahead and tell
Well,
us
no,
about
wasn't
your
an
Indian
it's not an
spy?
Indian spy.
It's not an Indian spy, it's the Indians being concerned of a spy. Remember on a previous episode I talked about the Indians training pigeons to communicate during natural disasters. So if they had an earthquake and they had pigeons that would enable them to keep communications going. Do you remember that story?
You seem to be referencing something here which proves that we've had Indians on the podcast before
Yes.
to further
Well, when you
complicate the
start-
lie
when you
that
start-
I
I
came
think
out
this
with.
when you
story
started
kind of
saying it-
is a follow-up.
It is. This is exactly what I was thinking, Adam.
It
is
is a
follow-up.
follow-up to one,
So-
even a follow-up to the podcast that never existed.
No, this story was on this podcast
Yeah, no, but there was a story on the podcast that never existed that is very similar to this.
about the arresting of a pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you should say that, Adam. It's funny you should have said all of that then to yourself because a pigeon suspected of being a Chinese spy was arrested but has recently been cleared by the Indian police. So not only did they train their own pigeons to help communications, etc., they got that paranoid by the power of the pigeon that they have started to arrest pigeons. I feel like I'm mispronouncing that simple word.
You've said
so
it
they-
too many times now.
I
Lost
have
all
it.
meaning. Pigeon, 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 pigeon.
Oh, what a horrible word. So the Indian police, they have cleared the suspected Chinese spy pigeon after 8 months in a detention, and they released it into the
what is a
wild.
pigeon detention centre like?
I imagine like a full detention centre, just smaller
Really
and with
small.
holes near the top of the
This is a
building.
detention centre for ants. No, it's for pigeons.
It's
Does it have
quite-
wings?
What, the entire detention centre?
the
or
whole
pigeon?
centre.
No, the pigeon. The pigeon. I wanted to know if.
Yeah, it can fly.
Yeah. The pigeon's got wings, right? Cool.
You
Cool,
can't
yeah.
send a wingless pigeon into spy from China.
Oh,
Nobody
can
would
you
be
not now?
looking.
Can you
Nobody
not
would be
now?
looking
Yeah.
for a wingless pigeon.
Yeah.
They'd all be looking for a wing-full pigeon.
A winged
A
piece.
wingful pigeon. Look
So
at that
how-
wingful pigeon there. What a rare sight in this dismal days. Go on,
Definitely a
Sam.
spy, that one. It's got wings.
Sam, no doubt
Um,
you've got questions.
how-
The
Of
only,
course I have, yeah.
only
How does a pigeon get cleared? Was it put in for
Well, I
questioning?
think we
and
need
they
to go
were, they were
back-
satisfied with its answers.
they got a
think
pigeon
it
whisperer.
It said,
they
it
have
said-
got a pigeon whisperer in.
I
and they were like,
think,
all right,
Sam,
fair enough.
to answer that question, we can't just start at the release. We have to start at the arrest.
Let's go right back to the
I
arrest.
think that's fair. We
You
spoke
might
about
be
arresting
thinking, how
pigeons
did I
before.
get myself into this situation?
Barbara O'Reilly starts fading in the background, and it's just, classic American TV now. So we've talked about, we're all now experts in the arresting of pigeons because we have spoke about it before with little handcuffs, etc. This pigeon
cuffs.
ordeal it actually began in May 2023. So this is a very recent. The pigeon was only released in February, so it's a very recent story. The ordeal began in May when the pigeon
Ordeal.
was captured. It is an ordeal. They're arresting
Well,
a
I guess
fucking
it was for the
pigeon.
Pigeon's
pigeon.
gone
If the
through a
word
right ordeal.
If the word ordeal meant anything ever, this is
This
it.
is it. This is
It's
it.
arresting a fucking
They have
pigeon.
this article in the dictionary under the word ordeal.
So it was
In the pigeon dictionary.
in the
the little
pigeonary.
tiny one, the little pigeon.
The pictionary.
in the pigeonary.
It's just got
so-
one part, just C. There's no other letters in the pigeon world. C and O.
so cool. So it was captured near a port in
Just
Mumbai
pigeons completely wrong.
with no, because if it's just a C and an O, it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, but it can only be CO if the second is then followed by another O, so it makes it cool.
You can't pigeon wrong, but everyone knows pigeons go coo, not car.
Pigeons didn't. They had to be told that, so you have to do a dictionary suitable
By
enough
the
to...
very first pigeon.
This is
The
declared
very first
doth
pigeon
thee.
spoke the queens, and then they were like, "Our pigeons will speak like this." Coo.
Fancy a flight today, chaps. So the police suspected it was involved in espionage, naturally. And
Obviously,
took it in.
all pigeons are.
All pigeons are. So eventually it turned out that the pigeon was just an open water racing bird from Taiwan that had escaped and made its way all the way to India. With police permission, the bird was transferred to the Bombay Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, whose doctors set it free
It
on
flew in
Tuesday.
with police permission.
It flew... No.
No, it got
No, if
police
it flew-
permission to be moved to the
it got
RSP.
police permission. The police...
BC, blah, blah.
Yeah, the equivalent. The Indian equivalent of the RSPB. See.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying it flew in with permission, like it had a little note in its backpack.
No,
It
sorry,
did have a
it
note
flew
on
in.
it.
This pigeon is allowed to be in Indian airspace.
So they naturally went, that's
A
not
note,
right.
note for
Police.
its mother.
yeah.
In fact, it's the same company that made
I'm
that
allowed to
scam
be here.
certificate for us.
Yeah.
The Indian
This
scam.
this pigeon does not have to take part in PE this week. It's got athlete's foot.
I'm still athlete's claw. I'm still amazed that you said this podcast doesn't contain any Indians when we had Oprah Winfrey.
It's a wash with them.
We had
a wash with them.
Winfrey's Indian gang like 3 weeks ago.
Oh God!
I imagine that the certificate
Sam's
that this
forgotten
pigeon
like
was-
most of our stories.
I'm Indian blind.
Yeah, we had the whole certificate thing.
Yeah, the certificate, the company that do that
Just-
actually also made the certificate for this pigeon, meaning that it was an obvious decoy once it got into the Mumbai port, and the police went, "Oh no, we've seen this scam."
I'm still just imagining Sam walking into the curry houses thinking it's a fucking route down a street. Can't see it.
I can't see it.
It's like
Who are-
colorblind, but just full fucking buildings and people.
Who are you who sells these spiced foods?
Spice.
Four
The
names,
spice
Jeremy.
must go, Sam. The spice must
So
go.
they. Now, I would like to answer more of your questions, Sam. However, I need to be very
I've
clear
got,
on this.
I've got many.
But I need to be very clear on this
How many?
next point first. There is
7.
one paragraph which is one sentence long. It's just one line. The
It's not
Mumbai
a
police.
It's not a paragraph.
It's a sentence.
It is, but it's got a space before and after,
It's
making it
not
a
a
paragraph.
paragraph, though. It's a sentence.
Okay. Well, how many sentences make a paragraph?
That's a question.
Yeah.
Because I thought that if there's a gap at the top and a gap at the bottom, that is what made it a paragraph.
How many letters make a word? How many words make a sentence?
Oh, no,
No.
don't overdo it. How
I
many
will.
sentences make a
Oh, I
paragraph?
will.
All right, can I read the sentence out before you ask
No.
any more questions?
No.
Not you, Adam. I'm
No.
not involving you with this part because Sam said he
Well,
has
I'm
questions.
fucking
but
getting involved.
I need to, fair
Sam's
play.
busy. He's
Can't-
on
can't
his
stop.
phone. Look, I'm
I'm
getting
getting-
involved.
I'm getting a definition of paragraph so we can move on past this
Fair
nonsense.
enough. Okay, let's put the whole music in here.
A distinct section of a piece of writing, usually dealing with a single theme and indicated by a new line.
Does that mean that I was correct and that both of you were wrong? For the listeners at
There
home,
is a-
I'm currently sticking two separate middle fingers up at both Sam and Adam.
There is a specific question here saying, can a paragraph be 2 sentences long, but not can it be a sentence?
Look,
So I'm
your
gonna have
first
to Google exactly
description could be one sentence. So I think we should just all accept that I was right and move
Oh
on.
no! Hang on!
Here we go.
Here we
It's
go.
It's
I've found the
it's
same.
Google.
We've found the same definition here. Here we go.
Yeah.
Go on, Sam.
So why was
Appa-
the first definition not suitable? Because it helped me. It was in my favour. Is that why?
Obviously, yeah. You're not going to be right on this one. So
I think
just
I was.
googled, can a paragraph be 1 sentence? Then the answer here is a paragraph is defined as a group of sentences, sentenci, centopodes, or a single sentence that forms a unit.
All right,
What
well,
does
there we
that
go.
What's
mean?
a
So that's-
unit?
So a single sentence that forms a unit, which means a unit is a piece of wording
All right.
that has
Well-
spaces between.
Read the sentence graph and see if
We'll
it's a
see if
unit.
it's a unit.
We'll see
Let's
what we
see if it's a
decide.
unit. But
We'll see what we decide.
we're going back as well because this paragraph sentence is going to help Sam and with his questions that he wanted to ask about the story.
Tell us your
The
paragraph.
parentheses is Mumbai police could not be reached for comment.
That's a paragraph. Good paragraph. I liked it.
Solid paragraph. Straight to the point. Not
One of my
wasting
favourites.
anyone's time.
Of all the paragraph sentences I've ever heard, that's
Such a
probably my
fucking
favourite.
unit, mate. Like that
Yeah,
is
oh
the
god,
biggest
yeah,
unit.
fucking built like a shithouse.
That's
Well,
right,
there's a
paragraph
sequel.
of a
There's a
unit of
sequel.
a paragraph.
There is another unit paragraph straight after it, another single sentence paragraph.
What is it?
It is not the first time a bird has come under police suspicion in India.
Well, we know this. We know all
do.
about this.
We do.
We do.
It
I'd
was
love to
in
be able to
2016
reference
where
the
another pigeon-
episode.
Well, it was in
2016.
2016.
So bear in mind, back on that podcast, we talked about recent news, and that podcast was recorded in 2019. Whoever brought that story to the table wasn't sticking by the recent news thing, because in 2016, another pigeon was taken into custody after it was found with a note that threatened the Indian Prime Minister. Oh, I can't
Pretty sure
pronounce that.
Benson
So-
brought it to the podcast.
No, because in 2020, which is the one I brought, the police in Indian-controlled Kashmir, Aroma, released a pigeon belonging to a Pakistani fisherman after a probe found that the bird, which had flown across the heavily militarized border between the nuclear-armed nations, was not a spy. It turns out that the only police force in the world are the Indian police force arresting pigeons, but
They spend
have
a lot of time
100%
arresting pigeons.
They have a
don't
100% success rate of getting it wrong. So not only do
every
they-
pigeon they've arrested has not been a spy.
yeah,
How
so
do you prove that the pigeon is not a spy or is a spy? If you ask a
talk to
pigeon
it.
You
and
ask
it is a
it,
spy, it's going to say no if it's a spy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and
but
that's
it's
when
also
you
going to
chop
say
its
no
head
if it's
off.
not a spy. Oh, so you don't really need
I
any
suppose
real
No, if it's
answer.
not a spy, it
suppose
goes
you-
coo, because
do
spies,
you not use the
pigeons
same
can't
principle?
speak English, but spies can. I mean, it's
They
that
can't
simple.
speak Indian though. So there's a difference there. But do you not treat a pigeon spy the same as a human spy? You know, in the sense that they'll say no either way. And if they say yes, it actually means that they're probably just trying to save their own life, which means they're not a spy, and you kill them anyway.
Using
But,
reverse psychology.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
In which case, they've got to be a spy.
at this
Just-
point,
just
Indian
kill 'em all.
police, I would personally give it up. Give it up. You've arrested
Just shoot
3
down
whole
all the
pigeons.
pigeons.
Just shoot. Yeah, in fact, yeah. Let's go. Can't blanch on
Stop
it.
done
Just
with
shoot
it.
all the pigeons down. You know, it's another food sources. That is perfect.
You're going for the Casey and the Sunshine Band methodology to deal with the pigeons. Just give it up.
Give it up.
Give it up.
You could go for the
Dancing
Happy
give it up.
Mondays way of dealing with them and just feed them rice, but doesn't end well.
It
Could
done.
do
It's
that.
pretty explosive.
Mm.
Well, I'm not a big fan of pigeons, I'll be honest. So
I like them
Is it
in
'cause
as
they're
like
bigger than you.
I like the taste of a pigeon, like pigeon pie, and that's good.
Pigeon, pie. You know
I've
the
never
one
had
that.
such a thing.
Yeah, pigeon pie is a proper dish, but the one that
Proper
always
nice.
puts me off is warm pigeon salad. And
You know,
I've
I've
said
had
this
warm
before on a
pigeon salad
podcast.
as well.
Right, you should never describe a dish with the word warm. That's just something that shouldn't come into it. It should be hot food or cold food. You should never have warm
Hot
anything.
pigeon salad,
But
sounds
also
awful.
warm and salad. Yeah, but
Not pigeon salad. What about not pigeon salad?
What is it then?
Well,
What is it? Come out of a
it's just
burger.
not-
we'll just
It's
call
not-
it. Just call it
It's-
pigeon salad. It doesn't matter about the temperature. But
It's exceptionally mild pigeon salad.
Warm and salad should never be in the same sentence, and pigeon
No, I agree
and
with that.
warm should never be. Pigeon and salad, they're fine. They could be a sentence so good that it makes a paragraph. That's fine.
I don't think pigeon and salad sounds great together.
Pigeon
if
is
I'm honest.
nice, man. The good
Pigeon's
the good
cool.
eats.
Yeah,
They are good
It's
eats.
it's like duck, but not actually anywhere near as good as duck.
Duck's pretty good.
You're really
Duck's
selling it there,
nah,
Benson.
Duck's real
Yeah.
fatty. Duck's got a lot of
thing-
fat in it
thing is
compared to a
with pigeon-
pigeon.
If you start thinking about what you're eating whilst you're eating pigeon, it's very, very off-putting. Then,
Well, would you like to hear about some more
Pigeon.
Indians?
well, since
not,
we are
eh?
the,
Let's do it.
maybe that's why Good Pod's got it wrong. We are the number 3 Indian podcast.
Maybe. I mean, we're not an Indian podcast. Indian based, Indian inclusive.
so close
I
to doing a
don't
voice. Hello, welcome to Killer Rabbit. Hello, please.
So I've got a little story here from Berhampur in India.
Oh, Berhampur, another place in the country of the people that we don't speak about.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Buji Ama. There you go. That's a name.
Is it a sentence or a name, Rack?
No, it's a name. It's not a paragraph,
Not a
or a
paragraph.
sentence. It's a name. Yeah, Buji Amar, 52, who is thought to be dead, woke up again moments before she was about to be cremated.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so mental because I looked at this story today and
I
was
thought you were going
about
to say,
to.
I did this. It
I
happened
did
to
this.
me.
I was going to use this story. This is so bizarre that this is all. I didn't go far enough into it to know it was to do with an Indian crematorium, but cremation. Sorry, but yeah, I saw this story. It turns out we are doing our research as the Alternative News Indian Music Podcast. We are hitting the research part nail on the head here. Sorry, continue.
Absolutely smashing it. Yeah, so she was taken to hospital, funnily enough, with burns after, I say funnily enough.
Funnily
after
enough, silly woman.
Funnily enough.
Funnily
yeah,
enough,
she
Freddy
had
Krueger
burns
herself.
due to a house fire. That's a bit insensitive, isn't it?
Yeah, not half.
You've really
you
done well.
Die from burns. Let's just burn you some more. You're already burnt. Oh, it's like the roof of the mouth argument where you've already burnt it, so you may as well just carry on. Push through the pain barrier. Burn it some more. Just cremate her. She'll be fine. So she then went home. It says a few days later she didn't open her eyes after the burn incident. So at that point they were like, "Oh, dead." Actually, you know when someone doesn't open their eyes and you just immediately
Sleep
assume
for
dead.
a while. Dead. That means.
Yeah.
Fair assumption to make.
Did you check the pulse? No.
Nah, dead.
Did you?
Eyes closed.
Did you put your hand in front of the nose or the mouth just to see if there was? No. Dead. Eyes closed. That's dead, isn't it?
Eyes closed means dead. Eyes closed
So-
for more than 1 day is dead. That's it.
Well, no. I mean, every time people blink in India, they're like, dead. Oh no. It's fine. Oh no, he's dead. Oh no. Oh,
That
dead.
pigeon's
no,
not
no.
blinked in a while. That's a spy.
Or dead. Oh no,
dead.
it's got to be alive if he's not blinking.
Yeah, exactly. Spy.
So don't fall asleep around this family because they will just burn you. So they couldn't get her to a hospital again due to poor finances, which is a shame.
On the
Sad
poor finances for the hospital or for them.
for the people, so they
Yeah,
were
for
just
the
like,
people.
well, we haven't got enough money to check that she's dead. So what we'll do,
You can assume that she's dead.
well, eyes closed in it. I mean, it's a 99.9% chance she's dead. She's got
Yeah,
her
eyes
eyes closed.
closed.
I'm not dead. Shut up. Your eyes are closed.
Mate, I was thinking this. Maybe they just wanted rid of her. Maybe this was like, come on, she's just get rid.
If they haven't got enough money to get her to hospital, they need some inheritance situation going on
She
here.
pops
That's,
out just before she gets in the before the cremation. They're like, oh god damn it!
I remember when this happened. This happened to James
So
Bond at one point.
I'm absolutely fine. I actually feel quite. You're dead, love. Your
No,
eyes
you're
are
not. You're
closed.
dead.
I'll get
So-
better.
So they thought she was dead. Informed others in the locality. I don't know what that means.
The
Just like-
local area.
Have they used the word in a paragraph
Brenda,
or a sentence?
Brenda,
Everyone-
she's
everyone,
dead.
she's
She's
dead.
dead. Yeah. How'd you know? Eyes closed. Yeah, eyes are closed. Oh yeah,
Classic sign. Classic sign.
must be dead.
Classic
So
Indian
they-
accent you're using as
they-
well here. Is it?
Oh, absolutely. I'm from Mumbai, don't you know? So,
I'm from
the
Mumbai, don't you?
I'm from bloody Mumbai.
Back you
No,
know,
you're
mate.
not.
You cheeky
you're
bastard.
not even talking in the right voice. Yes, I am.
Oh, born and raised. Born
This
and
is-
raised.
This is too Monty Python. This.
So, they arranged for a hearse to carry the body to the cremation ground.
The cremation ground.
So the
Yeah.
people, so the funeral directors as well come up and they're just like, yo, what we got here then? She's dead.
Yeah. Well, she's got her eyes closed. Oh, right, yeah.
No,
Right,
oh,
yes.
we've had
Say-
three.
say no
So
more,
we need
say
it
no more.
now. Get her in the back. Come
We've
on.
had three.
We got a
of them
plot
today.
ready already, yeah? Fucking eyes closed, that means it's over. Come on,
Tell
give
you
us your
what,
money.
I'll tell you what, I'm doing a roaring trade here in India, working for the cremation service.
I
It's
started,
absolutely-
uh,
I'm
started
rolling
doing
in
my
it.
rounds about 10 p.m. Fucking loads of business. Look, eyes closed, dead.
The three most popular types of grounds in India: cricket ground, cremation ground, football ground.
That's actually the name of the local football ground, the
Cremation ground.
Mm. So they arranged for her to be taken down by a hearse, and then, as it was about to happen, she opened her eyes, and a woman was quoted, K. Chinrajibi, saw Alma open her eyes and said, "Initially, we were scared as we had never seen such an incident."
A zombie.
Yeah. Well, oh god, yeah, that's it. She was obviously dead, and now she's come back as a zombie because her eyes were closed.
Her eyes
Must
were
be dead.
closed.
And then her eyes
We
were
know this.
open.
She
We
was
know
dead.
this.
We know
So
she
the
was
dr-
dead.
The driver of the hearse was called back to collect her living and breathing from the cremation ground just half an hour later, and she was taken home in the same hearse.
Did they put her in the
Which
back in
is-
the coffin as well, or did she get?
Well, there's only one
We've
scene
al-
for
we've
you,
already
though.
paid for this.
There's too many
We've
of
already
us.
paid
We
for
filled
this.
it, you know. There was enough of us in the back. We didn't have any room, so you've got to get in the back, love. You know, we got no
I
space.
told you we were too poor to take you to the hospital. We're too poor to waste this bloody coffin. Get in there, love. Close your eyes. Pretend.
Pretend.
So she
but then
was-
she closed her eyes and they go, she's dead again.
She's
Oh
sorry.
no, turn
Mine-
around, mate. She's dead. Get back to the cremation.
My mistake. So when before we said that she was alive, she's actually dead. Again.
She's actually
she's
dead.
popped it now.
Fucking crazy.
What are the chances?
She just popped it in the back of the head.
It's not the first time that this has happened, though. So, for example,
People
an
closing their
82-year-old
eyes.
I think what we're learning here is that India are making repeat mistakes.
Oh, it's got wings, has it? Spy.
We'll have a,
Oh,
we'll
it's
have a
got
story-
eyes, eyes, that's it.
Dead.
we'll have a story next week about a guy getting scammed by a baby birthing centre.
Yeah. Certificate. Yeah, genuine.
Same
Yeah,
guy.
it happened in New York when an 82-year-old woman was pronounced dead. Or
New
pronounced
York now.
eyes closed. A nursing home, later discovered to be alive by funeral home staff. And a 66-year-old woman with early onset dementia was declared dead by a nurse, only to be found gasping for air when funeral home staff unzipped the body bag. Jesus Christ, new fear unlocked, everybody.
New fear. And not buried
Hate
alive, bagged alive.
Buried alive is already
Yeah.
one of my most.
Buried
worst
alive would be
fears.
the worst thing
No,
ever.
No. it's
Oh,
absolutely not.
absolutely the worst.
Or you'll be alone with your
100%.
thoughts.
I
Oh,
need
I
to
don't want to be
cre-
alone with
Please
that.
cremate me
Jesus.
when I die. I just make sure I'm cremated. I
Please
do not want to.
cremate me,
Don't
let
wanna
me
wake
burn.
That would still suck for
My
like 30 seconds,
eyes
wouldn't it?
aren't open anymore.
I think you'd probably just pass out from
The
what's
fumes.
going on. I don't think you. Yeah, I don't know.
Are coffins airtight? I don't know. I
So
doubt it.
what we've learned here is if you do need to visit India, which you should do, it's a lovely place, so I hear. I don't work for the Indian Tourist Board at all, honestly. Anyway, pay me up, sort me out. Don't be closing your eyes and don't have wings, otherwise you'll be accused of being a spy. So there we go. That's what we've
But
learned
if you
today,
are accused of
folks.
being a spy, just close your eyes and they'll think you're dead.
Genius. There we go. That's how you get out of it.
When there's a will, there's a way.
So I've got a story, but it's not an Indian-based story. So I
Oh,
don't know-
get out
you
then.
ca-
Get out.
You can't
We
not
don't-
be
See,
in the podcast that doesn't talk about Indian stories, then brought only Indian stories, and then you're
is the
not talking
problem.
about one.
You've
I
let the Indian
tried.
side down.
I tried to just stick with what you said, Sam. No Indian stories, but you know,
You actually stuck to the memo.
yeah, stuck to the memo.
How
Yeah, I
professional-
thought
that's-
I'd be-
it's too
I'd just
professional.
thought I'd be professional.
Can we change some minor details to make it Indian?
Why don't we see if we can make it Indian?
Yeah, we'll chip in every now and again with Indianization.
It's about a big. It's about a big white bald man. So I don't know how Indian you can make him, but he was wearing a kilt.
Oh, he was wearing a sari.
A sari.
Okay then. Okay, a sari. He lives in Texas.
Texas, Mumbai.
Of course, yeah,
I know it. I know it
okay.
very well.
All
Know it very
right.
well.
So last week, it says last week, but when was the story from? Should we check? February the 19th. So last week.
Oh, this is
Oh
re-
my God.
Last week, February the 19th was yesterday.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
wait,
I
it, won't
know.
be, it won't be for the listener. It would have been last week.
Mm.
But right now,
Okay.
this is as breaking as it gets.
So, well,
This-
it was
this
last
Indian
week.
news
The-
story.
The article was posted on the 19th, but it happened last week.
So
So-
last week
Right.
in Texas, Mumbai, with a
In
white
Texas,
bald man wearing a
Mumbai,
sari.
A man was arrested after he was caught on surveillance footage. And,
Oh, it's a spy again.
This is
He's
it.
a pigeon. He's not a white ball, but he's a pigeon.
no,
He's
the
a bloody
pigeon was
this
the
guy.
pigeon got him on camera.
Ah, right. So they have pigeons working for them as well.
Oh yeah, that's why
Is
they're
India
suspicious
just
of him.
entirely inhabited by pigeons
And
all
Indian
the other
people.
pigeons?
And of like what's the word where you're worried about stuff? cautious, overly cautious people, suspicious people. It's full of pigeons and very suspicious people. That's where I was going with that, and that
I
is
think
exactly
it is full of
the point.
pigeons because they arrest them all. The jails are full of pigeons.
The jails are just birderies at this point.
Birderies? No, that's
Birder-
not what you call it.
First degree
An
birder.
aviary. A
yeah.
birdery. To put them all in the birdery. Go on.
I knew it was airy, but I couldn't
Airy?
think of what the first part was, and it was for birds. So birderies,
Aviary.
aviary,
Pidgery.
a pidgery, if you will.
Put it in the eaglery. Or the owlry.
Yeah, so it depends on which bird it is. As to what
You just
their,
have one per bird. The
their house is
duckery,
called, yeah.
where all the ducks live.
Well, the robinry is just
The goosery. I like the goosery.
oh, the goosery.
I do not like the goosery. Fucking
Yeah, you
a
do.
place filled with geese.
The
Geese the
swannery.
Get
size
me
of
the fuck out
Sam.
of there. Swannery scary as well.
The
Birds
swannery-
are generally
the
pretty scary.
The swannery
swans-
sounds like a pub. That does.
It
actually
does
have
sound like a
pub
pub,
named-
actually. The
Yeah, should we
swans,
go to Swannery?
fucking. There's always them swans on the canal. The canal, yeah, the canal going into Leeds, and every time you walk past them, they're like trying to fucking
they
attack you,
They
little
attack you.
bastards. They do attack
'Cause
you
they
every
think-
time.
It's because they think you're Chinese spies.
That's
why.
it. That's the problem.
Maybe they're
anyway,
Chinese spies. If you were a Chinese spy, you'd want to make everyone think that you thought someone else was Chinese spy, right?
That's exactly
That's the
it.
best way to do
Point
it.
the finger
It's a-
somewhere else.
Yeah, that's proper
Um,
espionage. Anyway, go back to your kilt
So
wearing
Texas,
pigeon in Texas.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
He was in an antique shop with his kilt on, and he was taking several items off the shelves. So taking
Not
item
several.
off at the time and putting it back. Now, the CCTV camera caught what was happening to them items when he'd taken them off the shelf. So, with his kilt, he obviously had planned this outfit because he was then taking these antiques and putting them in his bum bum.
Putting
Them-
antiques in his bum.
and then
And what?
put-
How big are the antiques? What are they, is there a list of the items that disappeared up his crevice?
Well, from the picture of the
10-foot barge
CCTV,
pole.
they were
from the
just
Battle of
they
Waterloo.
don't seem. I mean, they don't seem to be antiques, but they seem quite small. It says
Chinese spy pigeon.
So several.
Straight
He
up.
he grabbed several items off of the shelves, placed those items in his rectum, and then put them back on the shelves,
Oh, so he's dipping it and then
and then putting it back.
putting it back. He's not
He's-
trying to steal them by.
No, he's not.
Crevicing
He's
them.
not keeping them up
Dipping?
there. He's
I
just.
don't know why the word dipping makes it so much worse. Just dipping it in there.
He's
Just like a soldier in a boiled egg.
Oh,
you know.
mate. That's what he's doing. And then he's putting that soldier back on the shelf, covered in egg.
feces, fecal matter.
And he
Most
was caught
antiques
on
are covered in
CCTV.
fecal
This
matter,
guy's
rather than-
clearly gone out and been like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my fucking special kill on.
Why does a Texan have a kilt? That makes no
Yeah,
sense.
well, for this reason. This is it. It's his special kill. He has put. He specifically bought that. So you can be like, I'm gonna go to the shop. I'm gonna put things in my bum.
Oh,
Put it right on the shelf.
Marjorie, fetch my antique butt kilt, please.
fetch the bill.
It's Tuesday. You know what's happening.
No, not the
Well-
one with the Chinese pigeon on it.
The weirdest thing is, so they've got him on CCTV. That's how they've proved it. But
This isn't the weirdest thing.
no, well, that's not how he was reported. He was reported by multiple concerned citizens who had witnessed this act.
I'll be pretty concerned if I saw it
concerned
happening.
for the antiques.
I think they're just concerned that man's putting him in his bum.
Like going
I
to
mean,
the
I
Royal
thought-
Armouries.
I'm a
Which-
little concerned.
Which for
If
our
you saw
listeners,
someone in a shop taking stuff off the shelves, putting them up their ass, and putting it back, you'd be pretty concerned. You'd be like,
Yeah.
oh no.
I'd
I don't-
probably be
I don't
disgusted.
get what, I don't understand
more
what the
than
surprise
concerned.
is because I would expect general public to report that to the police.
Well, it's not that it's a surprise. It's that he's not been caught by like security. People have had to witness this. Multiple people. It's not like one person's witnessed it and gone, "Excuse me, there's a guy over there. Can you get rid of him?" You know, and security's dealt.
No
with
one's
him.
going to believe one person. You need to make sure that
They've
it's
just
got several witnesses.
It's just kept going. It's just kept going until enough people have seen it. They've gone, "Oh, we need to do something about this."
So I'm wondering whether he's picked the shop out because he likes the thought of old things up his ass in the antique shop, or whether he goes into a multitude of different shops and tries things on, as it were, in different shops.
Well, okay, I've got a little bit of an answer for you here. I've got a little bit of an answer. So the incidents occurred in 2 different shops. Okay, so one is called the Antique Gallery of Houston, and the other is the Curiosity Shop. So they seem to both be kind of knick-knacky, like antique shops.
That's taking Curiosity too far, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh, what does this feel like?
He was very curious
That's what it feels like.
each felt.
I wonder what that would feel like up my arse.
But
You are very curious,
the
sir. This is just the shop for you.
The Curiosity Shop is over the road. What was the other one called? The Houston Antique Shop. So you go to the Houston Antique Shop.
Gallery of Houston.
It's a gallery. That sounds like almost like a museum then.
Yeah, well, the
shop
Antique
at that
Gallery
point
did have given a little bit more information about what he violated himself with.
Oh, okay.
So apparently he picked up a makeup brush and it just says a hardware piece.
Or like a floppy disk.
So these are smaller items, Sam. I know you asked the size of the items. It's a hairbrush.
Yeah,
I don't know what the
hairbrush, that
hardware
works.
piece is.
That works.
Does it? Can you confirm that?
Yeah. I mean, you've got to get the right end, obviously. But
you don't want the fat
absolutely.
You don't want the spiky end. No, absolutely not.
But apparently the damages were only $130 worth of damages. What kind of
it's only a bit
antiques
of
are they
polish, isn't it?
selling?
Oh, it's only a bit of poo. Antiques come
like
in the ground, and the ground is
sterilizers.
basically poo.
The thing is, if this
It's
was
all
like
just poo.
if this was like a convenience store or something, and
It's not. It's an antique store.
I know, but if it was, and he
No, but
just shoved
it's
like,
not the. It's an antique.
but if it was, right, and but if it was,
it's been established that it's a curious antique gallery.
But if it was, and he just put some like I don't know,
Shellfish.
a bottle of shampoo
Jägerbomb.
up his ass, then the shop could just be like, let's replace this, dispose of it, and throw it in the incinerator.
Put it on the whoops aisle. And
in an antique shop, you can't just quickly replace things, can you?
Well,
so maybe
no, but it's only $130
shop,
worth of damage. I feel like they should be a bit more than that if they've had to get rid of these
it's
antiques.
not. You won't have to get rid of them. That's what I'm saying. You just clean
That's what
them
they've
up.
said. Damage.
That's what I mean. Maybe it adds to the value. Maybe there'll be somebody out there who wants some.
Maybe it's
shit
gone on
hairbrush.
a special antiques website with the photos of the man putting them up his
Antiquing.
bum. Yeah,
I tell you
maybe
what, good
now
luck.
it's
Good luck
worth
getting
more.
an AI. Good luck getting an AI image on antique butt plugs.
Yeah, it's going to reject that one, isn't it? We'll have to be clever to get an image for that one. So what's happened with the man? Has he been sent down? Is he still putting things up his bum?
He went to jail briefly, but he was released from Harris County.
He went to jail, but he shoved that up his ass. So no.
The whole jail is in his ass. He was released from
loves
Harris
jail.
County Jail on Friday after he posted a personal bond of $100, but he is still scheduled to appear in court.
And the person they paid it to was like, "Where did you get this $100? Where have you produced this money from?
People
You
in
don't have any
prison
pockets."
reading this article being like, if he comes inside, we've got jobs for him.
If he comes inside, I'm coming inside.
Oh, no.
Have some of this antique.
So that was the kilt-wearing man from Texas,
India.
Mumbai, obviously.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Well, I'm glad we had another Indian story there. So we've got a hat trick of Indian stories. Fantastic news. Wonderful.
Absolutely lovely, isn't it?
And we've come to the end of another episode of Killer Rabbit Podcast, where we don't talk about Indians, apart from several times that we've talked about Indians. Thank you very much for listening along. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here and sharing our bullshittery, our nonsensical garbage that we like to call a
Chinese
podcast.
pigeon espionage.
Pigeonage.
Pigeon
Espionage.
birds.
And if you have
If
any
you-
stories that you'd like to
Estrogen.
share with,
It's an
I
estrogen.
I
That
want
was much
people
better.
to-
It's an estrogen.
that sounds like a hormone or something.
Oh, you're short on estrogen, you.
Espigen.
Oh, that'll explain these tits. Right, okay. So,
Babs.
before you start reaching out to the social medias, people on social
Yeah.
media, settle the argument. Can a sentence be a paragraph?
Oh yeah, we didn't follow that up, did we? We should have definitely followed that up. Can
Yeah,
a
we did.
sentence
We
be a paragraph?
We gave in to Benson.
No,
I
we
think, in
didn't
the
because
end.
then he
No,
wrote,
no, you
read it
didn't.
out, and it definitely was not a fucking paragraph.
Because if you'd given in to me, the rest of the podcast would have been me celebrating the fact that I outrighted you and Adam in one
Well,
swift blow.
we agreed that your
Outrighted.
paragrantance was a unit. We agreed that it was a big
Sentence
hench hefty unit.
Yeah,
So,
it was a no,
that
that
one
wasn't the
sentence-
hench hefty unit. It wasn't
Well,
unit enough.
what we
to
have
be a
discovered, if you've
paragraph.
not discovered anything else, that this podcast, I am the smartest one of the three of us, and I know that a paragraph can be a sentence. If you agree, get in touch
Liar.
with us on the socials. And if you don't agree, get in touch with us. I think we'll set a poll up next week.
And
and
a
we'll
polyp.
see-
It sounded like one word, that didn't it?
We'll see.
I
Yeah,
think we'll
polyp.
set a polyp.
We'll create a
That is
polyp.
a
Where's
thing
the
as well,
polyp?
isn't it?
A
Have you
nasal
got
polyp.
the polyp? Has
be
the
a thing.
polyp been out for dinner tonight? Have you fed the polyp? Where is the polyp? I cannot find the polyp.
In
It's
the
closed
nose or
its
bottom,
eyes. It must
usually.
be dead.
Oh no, the polyp's died.
Good night, polyp. Oh my god, it's
Bye.
alive. Okay,
I know
there's
it's
going,
dead
to
again.
be, there's going to be two polyps next week. Polyp 1 is going to be, can a paragraph be a sentence? Second polyp, are you dead if you close your eyes?
What? You can't ask that. It's just fact.
We know
You
this.
can't, you
We've
can't
established
just be
yeah, but
asking
a se- a
questions. We
sentence-
know that
a
if you
sentence
close your
can
eyes,
be a
you're dead.
paragraph. A
No, it
sentence can
can't.
be a paragraph, and that's a fact. But we're still asking the general public.
It's definitely not a fact.
It is a fact. We read it out. You googled it,
Nah.
and then you
Only
weren't
if the
happy with-
only if the sentence is a unit.
It is a unit, though.
Gotta be a unit. Gotta be a unit.
Gotta be.
We don't know what that means. Come on, English people, get in
We
touch
need
and tell
some
us.
linguistic,
tell us-
some
yeah, we
literature.
do.
Literature.
Because Sam was loving reading out the answer, thinking he was right until he got to the end. He was like, "Shit, he's
What?
right."
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, I swerved at the end. I was like, oh shit. I hope it's not a unit. I don't know what that means, but I
What's a
hope it's
unit?
not.
So
Please,
So,
someone
we
tell
have-
us what a unit of a sentence is.
We have
But-
reached the end anyway. We'll put some polls up because Benson wants
I
to.
feel
but
like a
come and
unit
tell
of a
us. Come and say
sentence is
hello.
anything The Rock says. Surely, any sentence The Rock says is a unit of a sentence.
if you smell,
Or somebody with a really deep voice. And they've got,
Like Barry White would have.
Yeah, but everything Barry White said was a unit. I would agree with that.
everything Barry White said was a lyric.
Yeah.
No, he didn't just speak in lyrics all the
He
time.
did. He did. But
He might
technically speaking, anything that we say could be lyric. So
From what I understand, all of Barry White's songs and albums were just recorded for him going on
Somebody
his
just
day-to-day
followed
business.
him around with a microphone, and then
Just while he
put
was making his
music-
breakfast, and he's
straight
just like,
after.
"Can't get enough of your love, baby," talking to his Rice Krispies.
He actually said bacon, and they tweaked it to baby.
They used a bit of
Can't
auto
get
tune.
Your love bacon.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Come find us online at Killer Rabbit Pod or email us at killerrabbitpodcast@gmail.com. Send us stories, ideas, suggestions, topics, things you'd like us to talk about. If you'd like some advice, let us know. Anything at all, get in touch and say hello. If you can't be asked doing that, spread the word. Tell people about the podcast so they can come and find us so we can make £1 million
$1 million.
retire.
That'd be awesome. I want £1 million.
Yeah.
Please.
And if we don't get that £1 million, it's your fault. So
Yeah, exactly.
bear that in mind. So, yeah.
it's true.
Thank you to everybody who does spread the word. You know who you are. We love you very much. We really appreciate your support and your backing. It's what makes us want to keep doing this. If anybody else wants to get involved, though, please do so because it helps us immeasurably. But this has been Killer Rabbit Podcast. We've come to the end of the show. I've been Sam.
I've been Benson.
And I've been Adam.
Goodbye for now. and
Goodbye.
fuck you in the ass.
Fucking yeah.